This is the Real Estate Power Play Podcast, getting you the information that you need to be a successful real estate investor. Hosted by Mark Monroe, Ronnie Walker, Gabe Rodarte, and me, Marty Grizzanti. Combined, we've done thousands of real estate transactions. So get ready for real stories and true case studies on finding deals, growing portfolios, and making money. Welcome to the show.
What's up? What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday afternoon here in Texas. We got Ronnie with us today from Michigan, and we are excited today. We're going to share some cool things that we've been finding out about just using social media with your real estate. We thought that it'd be a good thing to bring up today. I've having some pretty cool wins, and I think that we miss out on this, Ronnie, and we've been just sharing about it, and we're like, this is a great topic to share with everyone and our tribe that's here. So let's go and hammer it out, dude. What is happening, Ronnie?
Yeah, man, my man, we're getting ready to talk here about using social media to explode your business, guys. I'm excited. In my world, it's a little bit of what we talked about. It's being consistent. You know, it's plugging away. It's hitting those KPI numbers that you got to do every single day to get results. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind, right? You know, the fires that happen around. And if you're constant, someone told me, if you're constantly a firefighter, firefighters only make about 75 to 100 grand a year, right? And so if you're a firefighter, you're going to be limiting yourself. And so I think just being diligent with those KPIs, with those big projects that we can put in place. Because like you, man, I've got goals, right? We've got things we're trying to hit this year. We've got road marks and milestones that we want to get past as we're climbing up this mountain. And I'd love to say it's like crazy exciting, but sometimes when you're disciplined, it's just a matter of being consistent
Every day.
Calls and doing the actions. And it's those things that get us where we want to go.
That's right. I mean, look, man, it's 5 o'clock your time, 4 o'clock my time. We've already put in a full day of work, and now we're going to put in basically the third shift. Right. And then after we get off with this, I probably and this is just to let people know like how realistic this is. Because I think that, you know, when we get text messages from people or we get DMs or a messenger or whatever it might be, there's this weird idea of like just like that you're on cloud nine all the time and that things are always running. And really, I mean, I took, you know, I was doing some text messaging last night with some sellers and with some other investors that I was connecting with. I mean, this is just how it goes.
Yeah.
So it's a continual process. And when I get done with this, I'm probably going to take one of the kids to a practice, and I'll probably be doing some text messaging, conversating with people on the way or why they're in the practice. It's just how this goes.
Yep.
In this business, right? Until you get to a place. And then once you get to that place, you're probably going to get bored and you're going to say, I'm going to build another business of something else like I have done or you have done. And then you're doing it all over again. So let's crank on it, man. So KPIs, we're going to go over KPIs with y'all of social media, how to really do this. Now, this is not going to be how to post. This isn't going to be, you know, the graphic that you're using or how many hearts do you have or fire this or like this. We're really not doing that other stuff. Okay. This is basically the common thread that we're seeing through North Houston real estate investors. I mean, we've been running this thing for years, and I can easily put on a post. Anybody can put on a post on there and ask for whatever you might need, a contact or a deal, or you're looking for something, or you got capital to place. You can do any of that in social media in this world that we're in. And I still know that it works every single day. So if you're looking for a deal, I guarantee you, and Ronnie can attest to this, if you were to just go on social media on the hunt and go, I'm going to spend this amount of time, whatever time you have, every single day, I guarantee you, you'll get deals. If you're looking to place capital, you'll find a place to do the capital. If you're looking for a title company or a rep or whatever, you'll find those things. And we want to talk about that stuff. So,
well, and guys, I want to speak to that, Gabe, real quick. You know, the other day, you know, we've been talking about placing capital with, you know, me and you and Marty and Mark, and really placing capital out in the marketplace. And I did that. I made a post and I reached out, and just from just from that post of us looking for stuff, I didn't find a deal from there, but that sparked a couple conversations that led into a potential wholesale deal. And then from that, another guy that I was connected with that I haven't actually spoken to for about 3 months called me and was like, hey, I just spoke to this other guy who called me about a portfolio and I want to connect you. And so he sent me this portfolio. And so now I connected with this other wholesaler that we've got a really good relationship and walking through, and I analyze the portfolio, and we're talking about doing some other deals and working together. But all of that comes from just being out there and asking questions. And then you might get introduced to 3 different dudes back, and that third guy reaches out and says, this is what I'm trying to do. And you fit that model and can make money. So it's really powerful if you're not using it. We're going to get really tactical here in a second. So
yeah. So what's up, Sydney? Yeah, see Sydney right here, buddy of mine from Houston, which I need to talk to you, by the way, dude. We need to talk about that assisted living facility that you were talking about that I need to talk to. But he just said right now, he gets 70% of his business through there. He's online 8 to 10 hours a day, tons of loans from social media. We get wholesale deals from social media as well. And he's on 76 different real estate groups. So there you go. He's spending 10 hours a day on doing that. And that's basically his business. Now, I know him enough to where he's not in the office. And that's the thing. Like, we have to realize what world we're in, right, Ronnie?
yeah.
Like, you can sit in your car at practice when you're dropping your kids off, or you can be wherever you're doing, and looking through this stuff. So let's get into some tactful things of what I think that people might be missing out on. We're going to go over KPIs of some stuff that you could just track. Now, keep in mind, KPIs are about the inputs. And I tell this to people, and sometimes it goes over their head or they might not like it. I don't really care anymore. I know it works. So if you're one of the people that I'm going to offend, probably it needs to happen. I'm sorry, but why are KPIs should be more focused about the input than the output? Like, why is it, instead of going, man, I need to get this many deals, this is my KPI, the tracker should be over what you can actually control, right, Ronnie?
Absolutely. I think it's Myron Golden. I don't know if you know that name or not, but Myron Golden says what you have is an output and the input is what you do. And the what you do is an output of the input of who you are. So if you change the input of changing who you are, you'll change the output of what you do, which will eventually change the output of what you have. But you always want to start at the beginning, right? That's a high level kind of philosophical approach, but you can't, let me put it this way. It doesn't matter how much you need something. Like, it literally doesn't matter how much you need something. It doesn't matter how much you need the money. It doesn't matter if you need $20,000 right now. It won't come to you unless you are doing the things that causes that money to come to you, right? If you want a deal, but you're not going out there and talking to sellers, if you're not going out there and marketing for those deals, you can sit in your house and pray all you want. You will not have a deal come to you if you don't do the actions that cause you to get a deal. And so tracking those actions, bro, like tracking them and then really being honest with, man, I haven't done anything.
What is something that you would be honest with yourself going, man, I haven't tracked this today? Like, what is one of the KPIs that you think someone should be going, man, you just need to, I mean, how do you do that with social media when you have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter?
It's really easy. All you got to do is you select the things that you want to. And so I'll give you an example. Let's say you're in the spot and you're like, I need to build additional buyers. Like, I don't feel like I have a good buyers relationships, right? I want to strengthen these relationships. So then one of your KPIs that you put on your sheet is, I want to connect and talk to 2 buyers on the phone a day. That's my goal. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to make 3 posts a day for the next 2 weeks on, who are cash buyers that are still buying in this market. Or maybe you don't do the post. Maybe you go to the group and you hit the search and you search cash buyers and then you see who's already responded and you send them a message. But you're going to track the activity of reaching out to the buyer. And then if you want to take it even a step deeper, you could track the activity of a conversation with a buyer. So now I've got, hey, how many people did I actually reach out to on social? I reached out to 12 people today. How many people did I get on the phone and talk to get their criteria? 1. Okay, well, how many relationships do you want? I want 12 relationships. Well, you need to make sure that input is constantly going in so you're tracking what your work is before you get them. And so that is how you create that KPI in whichever thing you're focused on.
It's cool. So let's say we looked for, if you're going to find buyers, it's almost like tracking your time. How much time are you going to put into it, right? Woo! Sorry, guys. So you're tracking your time on finding buyers. I'm going to spend 30 minutes just looking for different groups to find buyers. Cool. Now you're looking for deals. I'm going to track 30 minutes looking for deals or signing up to groups, right? Or maybe you just spend 30 minutes. This is a cool one that we do is I go through and I look at Ronnie's friends and I look at the people that I would want to connect with, because we're going to go into the power of networking through social, and it's powerful.
Yeah.
Okay. But let's just say I wanted to go through and meet some of Ronnie's friends. I just click on his friends and I go, Ronnie, I'll go through his friends and I go, which ones do I have the most in common with? Because that's what it is, right? You go through there and you can see the people that what is it? It's not in common. What is the thing on
mutual?
Mutual friends. All right. Now on Instagram, it's a little different. We're going to hit on that in a bit. But Instagram's a little bit different. You're going to be doing a lot more shorts. You want to show about what you're doing. You're going to do a lot more activity on properties or whatever you're looking for. And you're going to be friending a lot of other people. You want to connect and follow a lot of others on Instagram. If you're using Twitter, which is a great place for commercial real estate investing, type in retweet, whatever you want to call it. Go through there. And then what's really cool is that you could just go through and start liking all of those people through there. So follow those people, not like them, but follow those. And then whenever they post, other people post good comments on there. Someone that you admire, let's say if it's in storage facilities or if it's in, some form of commercial or retail, you can follow those people. That car dealership guy, I forgot his name. Everyone's like, even Elon's like cool with him on Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's pretty crazy how all that works. So that is something. So if you're going to do the KPI model, which I suggest you do, where you just go, I'm just going to spend a certain amount of time a day working on this. Now, I'm sure that if someone says I spend 3 hours a day every day, they're not really spending 3 hours a day where they don't do anything else. Okay. They're making phone calls. They're connecting with the people that are on there. So another thing you could be doing, especially through Facebook, is connecting with Ronnie or me or going, hey, I saw something that you posted on. How can I be an assistance to you? These are my skills. I get quite a few of these, especially from virtual assistants. I'm pretty sure you get some of these too, right? So what would you suggest for someone who just wanted to connect with you or connect with anybody, right? What is a good message you would send to them to kind of break the ice?
Yeah.
Not sounding like I'm needy and I'm trying to,
one of the easiest messages to send, and I actually struggled with this for a long time, guys, is I didn't know how to send these messages. We're going to talk a little bit more about connecting and getting the right relationships to explode the business. But when you're looking at connecting, it can feel kind of weird. Like, what message do I send? Well, what I found is through just some research and reaching out to influencers and ones that they respond to, is find something on their page or find something they're doing, watch it, and then compliment them on it, right? Think of how many times you have gotten a compliment from anybody, right? It's very, very little. So when people reach out to me and they say, hey, Ronnie, I watched you on your YouTube channel. I really like that you touched blah, blah, blah. It really impacted me. That was super cool. You know, I was reaching out because I'm actually getting started in wholesaling, and I picked up this property, and the seller's trying to renegotiate with me. What should I do? Can we, you know, would you be able to help me out? Well, immediately you complimented me, which is like, oh, he's actually looked at my crap. That's cool. 2, you've brought a very specific problem or a very specific thing. What is not recommended is to say, hey, can we grab coffee? Right? Like immediately, right? Like that's a very hard thing for people on space because they don't know if they should or shouldn't. It feels that it's this weird bridge between offline and online. And so instead, connect with them, bring up a specific need, compliment them on what they're doing, and then make it brief, right? Like don't send a book, not because we don't want to get to it, but because when people do that, they don't even know how to respond. Right?
That's a good point.
I'm like, I read it, I'm like, yo, I'll get back to that at some point.
That's a good point.
You know, and so make it concise, make it excited, make it something that the person would be like, wow, this person's actually taken notice of me. Because if anybody knows, like, think of when you post and you're like, did that do well? Did it not do well? Blah, blah. And then you hear, oh, hey, I put your stuff on the background a little bit and I was listening. I really liked how you did your script in 1, 2, 3. Now it's like, oh man, what I'm doing is making an impact and it's impacting you. Well, how can I help you more?
Dude, I think that's the key thing. I think that what ends up happening is, like, whenever I get messages from people and it's really quick and going, hey, dude, I like that. You know, immediately I want to go and help whoever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately. But guys, I do this. It works, Ronnie. It works for me to connect with someone else and go, hey, I just saw that you posted whatever. I got a deal one time from a realtor who saw us go on vacation. And I've known this lady for a while. And my wife posted about a vacation that we did. I didn't even post it. This is the power of social media. And whenever I posted it, whenever she posted it, she tagged me in it. She literally responds to me within, I don't know, it was, I guess, within a week or so. And she goes, hey, I hope your vacation on this and this was good. I got a deal. Now, I haven't talked to this person in probably 6 years. 6 years. So social media is super important. When it comes to, like, just post about what you're doing and your old contacts and acquaintances and people, you know, like, go be friends with them. And guys, I'm going to tell you this, like, there was a world that I used to live in, which was stupid. Okay. I didn't really want everyone to know my business. All right. I didn't really want everyone to know what I was doing. I fell into that secret agent trap whenever I was a broker. I didn't really care. And really, I just didn't care. I didn't really care about social media that much. I got my deals coming in. We got other stuff happening. And then we started building a networking group, and I just would post stuff, and I still run into people today. I ran into someone at the gym from social media at my gym. I mean, I've only been in this neighborhood for about 1.5 years now. I mean, you think I would run into enough people, and and he's like, man, we connect on social media. We just never met in person.
You know, what do you focus on, you know, when you're building this social presence, right? Is it capturing your contacts already, or is it establishing new relationships? And what have you seen the most reward from? The fostering of those old relationships through social so they can see what you're doing in life, like you said, like actually being able to be transparent, or is it, yo, I'm looking for blank and come there? What do you find is more powerful? In what ways have you used it more?
Man, you know what? I think they're both. I just put out a thing the other day where I'm looking for, I ask a question, right? I'm looking for something that I don't really have a lot of contacts or relationships with. And what's really crazy is that some of my friends are going, hey, did you talk to so-and-so? They'll text me directly or DM me on Facebook. Like, they're not responding in the text thread. So you guys got to be open to that, of going like, look, I'm looking through some of my text threads of like on social. Obviously we're talking mainly about Facebook, but this works through Instagram and everything else, and going, hey, go call so-and-so.
Yeah.
Right. And I got one dude who's like, dude, did you talk to Guido? And I'm like, Guido? That's like his real name? Like, is that the nickname? Like, how do I find this person? How do I get a hold of him? Well, I don't know how to get a hold of him, but you need to go hold of this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out, you know? So, so I think that through that questioning and asking things and stuff, it's good for engagement. Look, there's Rich.
There we go.
So
Rich
Nickel, baby. See, I'm saying his name right now. Why would I be saying his name? Because he's posting on here, and he actually lists a lot of my deals. So this is just how this world lives in, and I think that there's a generation of people that totally get it, and there's a generation that don't.
So are you saying that, like, I've like, if I wanted to grow my social presence, do you think this is a good time to do that? Like, should I dive deep? And let's say guys are coming in, they're like, man, I've wasted a lot of time on social. I don't know how to weaponize it. Is it a skill they should learn, or should they just focus on off market, like stay undercover and go? Like, what direction should they do?
Well, here's the thing. Here's my Gabe perspective from Gabe Rodarte is, of course, yeah, do social. There is a group of people though that don't ever want to be known. Okay. And those are typically my lenders. All right. The people that are backing our assets, the people that are, watching this and not wanting to really be out there in front. They're not the front person. They're not asking questions. They're not doing any of that stuff. Those are typically the people that don't want to be on social media. But I guarantee you those who are listening that, and I'm always looking for more lenders, but those people are the ones, Ronnie, that end up texting me going, like, we were doing this industrial thing, and one of my like go-to lenders for the last 7 years going, how come I wasn't in on that deal? Like, he's texting me going, hey, you never brought this deal to me. How come I wanted to be part of something like that? What else do you have like that? I want to be part of a journey and be, because there's this part where if you show people what you're doing, they want to join in the journey. Now, if you can get over the naysayers and the people that are judgmental and the people that want to do jokes on here, and, they're not pointing at you directly. There's always someone with a funny remark and stuff like that. And you just brush that off. They're not really targeting you. Like, I don't see that as someone like trying to say you're a fake, you're a phony. But I think that people do have that imposter syndrome, right? Of going, well, if I do this, how do people know that I'm actually doing this? But how do you get started if you're a realtor? How does anyone get started? I saw someone just started an electrical company in my area. You know what they did? They went on social media and they just let everybody know that they're starting an electrical company and they're doing this and they have all this experience and this is what they're doing. And here you go. Give me a chance to give you a quote. Like, I think that's probably one of the easiest things to do, right?
Well, so if I could speak to that, here's the thing about imposter syndrome is it makes you feel like a fraud. And what's so funny, so I started jumping into social media back in October heavily. Obviously, I had an account for a long time, and I've had some hiccups with it so far, and a lot of crazy stuff has happened. But when I started posting, I had this feeling of like, is this right? Like, should I do this? Should I put, like, I second guess myself and my history. And it doesn't matter if you have none or a lot. I mean, think of it. Do you want to be the guy who says, oh, I succeeded 8 years ago, but I've not succeeded today, right? No, nobody wants to be that.
No one wants to,
right? No one wants to be. So the moral of the story is people are looking for that cutting edge, hungry person who's going to solve their problem now, who's there to bring value. And that is a today thing. And so if you have
let's pause that for a second. Let's pause that for a second. What most people want is connection.
Yes.
The connection they want is, can you solve my problem? When you go to Starbucks, I got a problem, right? When you go grab a coffee, or you're going and you need capital and you need money to put to work, or you need a deal, or you need anything, we're talking about real estate, whatever it might be. I need a title company that knows how to do novations in Texas, right? I need something like this. Help me out. You're looking for someone, you're casting it out. And what I love about this world is that you're putting it out there into the freaking cosmos of the world, basically, and saying, does anyone have an answer for this?
Yeah.
Because I'm open.
Yes.
And the part that I love about this is that people are just looking for an answer for your question. And so for those who don't know, like, man, I've been doing this for, I don't know how long now. I've been in single family for 15 years and we still flip houses, but it's not my main thing anymore. I'm doing more commercial type stuff. You've been doing what, over 500 transactions?
Yeah. I've crossed over 500. Correct.
Yeah. So you're over 500 transactions. You realize, like, the thing that I see is that people who've only done 5 transactions has answers. Like, that's really the truth is, it's not that they're trying to coach. It's like, you know what? I've done these 5 transactions at this title company. Try them. I don't know if they're going to work, but let's take it into consideration for those who are listening. If you know how odd it is to use the same contractor to repair, just do a house repair, or the same electrician for your own personal residence, and you say, I've called this person out 5 times in a row. Like, it's kind of rare, right? Because, this is not always the best experience, right? But so if we take that into consideration of going, hey, who is the best person in my neighborhood that bakes the best cookies, right? Like, we have somebody that my wife found, and I'm like, wow, we went to their house I'm like, what are we doing? She's like, this is someone like does these cookies, and I'm going to give them as a gift to a friend. I'm like, okay. She's like, can you go out there and pick up the cookie? I'm in the passenger seat, dude. And I'm like, how'd you find this person? She's like, I found her on Facebook.
Yep.
And I'm like, the cookie maker? Yes, the cookie maker. I've sent all of my people to this person. So look, why is this important? It is important because the imposter syndrome can click in here and say, you're not good enough, or you don't bake the best cookies, or you don't have the best type of deals, or that person is going to go and bash your deal that you sent out. It's not at a big enough discount. But does that matter whenever someone else is looking on the other side and going, I need to place $200,000 today?
Yeah.
Today. And I got a 1031, or I got a whatever, and I need to get this thing done I got 7 days left. So you know what? That person, that deal that just happens to be at a 15% discount, and it's exactly what I need, and it's in a cookie cutter neighborhood that isn't the best, quote unquote, investment property for a flip or for a single family that you would buy, Mr. Investor. It would work for somebody else, right? Who just got rid of something else that they're so glad they got rid of, or got rid of a property of a family members that passed away and that's been in their name for a while. And they're just going, hey, my dad bought this 20 years ago. It's in my name now. All I want to do is roll it over. It's an investment for me. I don't care. Yeah. You know what I mean? So this is what social media gets to do. And it's really that mindset, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think just mindset really comes to the point as, are you beating yourself down thinking it's like, how could this work? Or are you saying, like, what if this works? Right? Like, there's a completely different mindset of like, oh my gosh, this might not work. What if I get introduced to one guy today? Because the truth is, as much as we feel like we're the only people who want to get out there and do business and make money and do deals, and everyone else is sitting on their hands and knees and doesn't need anything. The truth is, most people are out on social hoping something comes their way. Most people are looking for an opportunity. Most of us think that something's going to fall in our lap. So why don't you be the guy who falls into the other guy's lap, right? Because now if you're taking action and they're looking for something, but they're not willing to, or they're just not doing, like, that's so powerful for the one who's willing to take initiative. I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm new. Let's say I'm going into a new market. Okay. And I go into, let's say, Boise, Idaho. And I don't know anything about Boise, Idaho from a real estate perspective. This is what I can do with social media. I can go online and I can find 10 real estate investment groups in Boise, Idaho. I can join all of them. Then once I join all of them, I can search the groups and I can say, hey, you can just search the groups and type in title company. Then you do that with put all of those title companies you find on an Excel sheet. Go back to the group, search cash buyer. Boom. Put all that information on an Excel sheet. Now you've done that for 3 hours. Now sit down and say, okay, I'm going to call these title companies. So now you call the title companies and you say, hey, I'm new to the market. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for here. You know, I don't buy the deals when I'm in a new market 100% of the time. A lot of times I'm connecting with buyers and I'm assigning them. Do you have any good buyers that close with you that you think I might be a good connection for because I'm finding properties? Well, then they may say yes or no. And then you connect with them, talk with them. Boom. Now you've created connections. You do that with every title company. Now you've got your title companies. You've got relationships. And now you send them personal messages on Facebook. Then you say, hey, can we hop on the phone? Well, guess what? In one day, in 4 hours, you've connected with title companies. You've got cash buyers that have actually closed at that title company. Think of how powerful that is, Gabe. Like, that's pretty cool, right? That's not just somebody who said they did, but like an actual connection. And you've started developing some relationships. So you start doing that and you can start seeing how powerful just that initiative of reaching out to whatever you want. And then here's a ninja trick. Anybody who interacts with your stuff on Facebook, who looks at your stuff, they like it. If they're in your field in real estate, or even if they're a friend, reach out, say, hey, I saw that you liked my post. I was curious what resonated with you in that post, right? Especially if it's about work.
Right.
If it's not about work, hey, awesome to see you like the post. How's it going? Awesome. Hey, by the way, I'm looking for 1, 2, 3. Do you know anybody?
Yeah.
And you immediately are having traction in your life, man. So
you know what's cool is that, like, I've talked to a friend of mine about this, and we do mainly commercial stuff. And we joke around whenever there's like that moment when you might get overwhelmed on some deals. And every time we get off the phone, go, man, we've already made it. Just remember this. Like, when you know you made it, and everyone on this call has made it. Because years ago, if you needed to get a hold, all it takes is 5 phone calls, 5 contacts, and you can do whatever you need to do in real estate. That's just how business works. It works that if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, if you're whatever. We have now come to a place that if you can swallow your pride, there's not a lot of ego involved, and you go, I need to reach out to somebody. You know, you don't care what you look like, right? Because my kids don't really know any of my friends. I think I got 5,100 friends on here, and this is just Facebook, which isn't a lot compared to some of my other stuff that we do, right? We have a total of 130,000 contacts.
Yeah.
Through all of our, stuff, which is still not a lot when you look at someone else, who's on YouTube or whatever. And you look at that and you go, you can reach out and make 5 calls and all of your answers will be done. If you can get all of your answers in 5 calls, you've made it. Like, can you imagine that, getting a deal under contract, or just like, for those who are listening, like, it doesn't take much if you can get it done in 5 calls. You get a deal, you need to find a lender. All it takes is about 5 calls, right? It might take more, but you get your life to a point. Like, for me, I'm less than 5 calls and I have a way to finance my deals.
Yes.
Right. I would love to have more lenders. If you're looking at lending, contact Ronnie or me or some of the guys in the group. You know what I mean? For those calls, right? So one of the questions I have for you is, are you tagging people? Are you in that process of, like, when you're doing that and you're tagging people and you're connecting? I know you mentioned a little bit of that, but on the different avenues that you're in, Are you using that as a way to help you grow your business?
I've tried it, and I've had other people tag me, and I find it slightly annoying, if I'm truly honest. I think it is not a bad strategy to get on other people's pages, but what I would say is get a core group of people that you've agreed to do it with, right? Or tag somebody that you want to connect with over a reason, like, hey, Jim, thought you'd like, right? Like something that's relevant rather than I was tagged in a post a couple months ago, and I thought this is like who I don't want to be. And I was tagged in a post with like 250 other people. And it was like this guy like walking out to his car and, a tank top, and he's talking about real estate and this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay, this is not really the right way to do this. Okay. However, here's the right way to do it.
That was me, guys.
Right. Here's the right way to do it is to ask for help. If you tag 250 people and you ask for help, hey, I'm looking for a title company. Can you guys help me? And you tag a whole bunch of people there, the response that you're going to get is overwhelming. Okay. And it's overwhelmingly positive. I've seen ones where people have just tagged me for just a quick thing I could help with. And there's something about asking for help from people where I find pride, or people find pride in being the one who slides the name across the table. Like, oh, I connected Logan for private lending, or I connected so-and-so.
Right.
Like there's something really powerful about that. So if you're tagging, don't tag for self-promotion unless you've got a pre-existing agreement. However, definitely tag for I'm trying to accomplish specific thing. And dude, people want to help. So that would be my advice there.
That's good, man. That's good. Guys, we're going to wrap up just because it's that time, and we want to be able to just make sure that we give these nuggets to you guys. If you have other things you want us to go over of just how we're building our business through different areas, through real estate investing, DM us, message us, connect with us in any way possible. We're all over the place when it comes to YouTube and Facebook and social media, Instagram, and Marty is out there. Mark is on the other side of the world. And where's he? South Africa?
South Africa.
Yeah. So, he's probably on here right now, drinking some wine or something like that, listening to us. So guys, we love you. Any way that we can help you build your business, because it eventually helps everybody around you in your life. And that's it, guys. Awesome. We'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.
This has been another episode of Real Estate Power Play, guiding real estate entrepreneurs to a brighter future. If you liked what you heard, consider subscribing wherever you listen to your podcast, or follow us on YouTube at Real Estate Power Play.